Hey, what's going on, guys? Dan at Stockability. I wanted to take some time to go over a quick video and discuss Netflix as well as the SPY and the overall market right now heading into what is the end of the year, into the holiday season, as well as seeing lockdowns in major cities like San Francisco, Northern California, and potentially other cities kind of happening or having that happen again. So one of the stocks that I hold near and dear and one of the stocks that we use in our Options Abilities course, we track a very small list of stocks, is Netflix, and this is something that I've been trading probably for the past 6 years. For those of you that followed me from my past videos in the past, the old YouTube channels to the new one here at Stockability, let me give you some insights to what I'm looking at on Netflix potentially heading into end of the week and heading into next week. So I actually traded this yesterday. I'll talk about that briefly, and I'm going to go through it here to talk about a few things. So Netflix on a daily chart, and we actually were using this in our class this week in our Options Abilities class as a case study. On a chart, this thing has really just been stuck in a range for about 480 to 515. So typically, whenever I see momentum or a high beta stock like Netflix that's stuck in a range like this, I know sooner or later when this thing decides to break out of that range, that the move that it has is going to be highly aggressive and it'll be super impulsive. So whenever I see something like this, when we get this sideways action trading, right, I know eventually, again, it's like the analogy I've used. Imagine taking like a Coke or a Sprite bottle and shaking it, taking the top off, and that explosion of pressure that comes out. It's kind of the same way I can relate this to trading Netflix. This thing of the past few weeks, right, it's kind of tested, and I'm going to go through and kind of illustrate what this has tried to do. It's kind of tested these highs of the range. So last week, it kind of had what I would call a sneak attack in the markets here, where essentially you had a move here, and it traded aggressively into 505. This is a 20-point move in a matter of one day, right? Then you consolidate, and then again yesterday, and we were a part of this move again for a day trade, it traded aggressively into this gap fill in this basically 515 area. And again, it's resting at this particular level. So when I see things like this, I see it gearing up. And again, Tesla, or the stock is not like Tesla rather, where it just goes parabolic. What I'm looking for next on this is for potentially to trade higher into that particular level up there. So, and there's a few ways I'm trading it, and I'll show you here in a second as we get there, but let me talk about targets on this as well. So on a larger term perspective, when I look at a larger term weekly time frame on this, I can run a very simple Fibonacci drawing on this just to get a gauge rather of where price could potentially trade. Now we tested that 520, maybe I think we get to these highs here back to 540, especially on a fundamental basis. Okay, so if we take a look at what's going down with the lockdowns with Corona this holiday season, right? You're probably likely to see a lot of more people staying at home, subscribing to Netflix, etc., and being stuck at home and getting the entertainment again from home cinema versus going to movie theaters, because at least where I'm at in Arizona, a lot of them are shut down and it's hard to get into. So fundamentally, I want to see that happening. Additionally, another kind of clue, or what my partner Sam likes to discuss as a case builder, you've got a first touch level here. So I see this here, and I'm stocking this aggressively to potentially get a trade. So let me show you actually how I traded this here and bring up that in a second. All right, so this is a starter position for me. I'll end up adding to this potentially directionally. But right now, the way the market's sitting, heading into some other reads that I look at, what I've gone ahead and done is I've kind of sold some puts on this, and I've also kind of made this to a spread. So what I'll eventually do is I ended up selling the January monthly 470 puts and bought the 430s. Now this is an unusually wide spread. I wouldn't go normally this wide, but I have conviction in this trade, and I might trade around in that position. So initially, that's what I'm looking at here. Eventually, what I'll end up doing, I'm going to bring you to the charts to talk about this, is if tomorrow, or if it's Thursday or Friday, whatever day it may be, if I see this start to pick up steam around 514, 515s, I'll end up trading this directionally with long call options. But as it sits now, I want to have a partial position on this, because I do think this trades to 530, 540. So that's why I've elected to basically sell premium. And then once I get a trigger entry, what I'll end up doing is buying directional. And on the directional trade, I haven't really quite decided yet what I want to do. But looking at the market across the board, there's a few things here. There's really good volume on next week's December monthlies that are expiring. So I may just come in here and trade like the 520s or 525s, depending, again, the velocity of the move, what the S&P is doing tomorrow. So again, just a short little video I wanted to put on our YouTube channel. If you guys have questions, make sure to like, subscribe below this video. If you actually click the little bell there, every time we upload a video, it'll send you an email notification. So you don't have to come back and check our YouTube. It'll actually notify you of when a video is uploaded. That way you can just stay into a lot of the content we're putting out for you. So that being said, good trading, and we'll see you in the next video.